Welcome back to Sow, Grow and Cook. In my last video, I gave you a tour of our lower polytunnel, which we had put up last year during lockdown. And that's the polytunnel that we grow our tomatoes and a few other heat-loving plants. In today's video, I'm going to give you a tour of our upper polytunnel, the one that came with the house when we bought it. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Come along and let's have a look. So in addition to having the tomato tunnel down at the bottom of the garden, we also have this top polytunnel which came with the house when we bought it. It's approximately 14 foot by 36 and we use it to grow lots of heat-loving plants, but other things as well. Let's look inside. Standing very majestically in the middle bed is the Dakota black popcorn that I grew by seed. A friend Michelle sent me some from West Virginia, USA, and I planted some last year and they did really well in here, and I saved some of the seed and replanted them again this year. And again, they're doing really well. Now the reason I plant them in the polytunnel is because they need a long drying time. Once the cobs have developed, the husks need to go very papery dry before you pick them. And here in West Wales, we get a lot of rain sort of come August, September, although this month we've not been too bad. But we can have very wet weather, prolonged wet weather, where you just have days and days of drizzle and damp, and that just wouldn't be good for trying to dry off corn cobs. So I grow them in the polytunnel, and they do really well. Once I've picked them, they have to dry a further 3 or 4 weeks indoors. I put them in an airing cupboard. I peeled the husks away. Put them in the airing cupboard for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then periodically try popping some of the kernels. And if they all start popping really well, then I know that they're ready. If they're not popping well, then I know they need more time to dry. So, you know, a bit of a time-consuming crop, but if you really like popcorn, I think it's quite fun. And if you've got the space. Right to the right, we've got some young plants here that I've cropped after removing things like onions and parsley, which had been growing here for quite a while. So I've got some peas for pea shoots. I've been trimming some of these back and putting them in salad. I've got a random kohlrabi, some carrots, which I hope will winter over. My wintered over carrots do seem to do pretty well in here, so, you know, I guess it just, you know, gives them a few extra weeks of warmth to kind of bring on the growth. I've got beetroot and some turnips, some Egyptian walking onions, and some more kohlrabi and pea shoots, a bit of basil, some Mexican tree spinach, and some self-seeded dill, lots and lots of it. Further on, we've got some asparagus. Now, I have cropped a few of the spears this year, but not many because they're still young plants. But I'm looking at it now, and there's another one coming up. But I will leave that, I think. Further along, we've got a randomly self-seeded flat-leaf parsley, lots of little cherry tomatoes, and I think they're either red alert or I'm not sure what variety. Mountain Magic. There seems to be 2 different sorts. One's got slightly larger fruit, and some have got mainly tiny cherry tomatoes. I'll have to look in my diary just to see what I put in here. Some French marigolds, a few chilies, which are starting to ripen, a very lovely purple basil, which I should have taken the flowers off of, but it's attracting the pollinators, so that's okay. And one of my pride and joy this year are some aubergines or eggplant. I find them really hit and miss to grow, but this year, because we had such a warm spell in July, and we're continuing to have warm spells, I think they've done really well. And I think I've got the right variety for the polytunnel. It's a variety called pot black, and it's meant to grow well in the UK climate. We've got kind of cool summers. However, this is in a polytunnel, so it shouldn't make any difference really. But some years I get aubergines, eggplants, other years I get absolutely nothing. It's pretty much a not very dependable crop for me, but I always try to make a little space for it. And this year was going to be my last go. I thought, well, you know, if I don't get anything, I'm not going to bother next year. So clearly they heard me and they put on the growth. Now, same goes for the sweet peppers. They're doing really well in here. I've grown some California Wonder. I'm just waiting for them to ripen. I know you can eat them green, but they're much tastier when they turn orange or red. I've been assured that they will do that, but I don't know how long it's going to take. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments section below, or if there's anything I can do to kind of speed things up. I've also got something called bull's horn pepper. These are sweet and they're meant to turn red as well. But again, although they're doing really well, they've grown huge and I've got lots of them. No sign of turning red yet. However, I will pick them green if I need to, rather than lose them in the frost. But I'm going to give them some more time. Just behind or in front of the Dakota black popcorn is a brassica bed. I've got purple sprouting broccoli, which is getting well and truly nibbled by cabbage white butterfly caterpillars. In fact, I can see one there. I'm going to pick off. Last year we had the same issue, but we had wasps in here that kind of kept them in control. It's like 1 week we had quite a few caterpillars and the next week they all seemed to go. And the only thing that I noticed that was different was we had quite a lot of wasps in here, sort of feeding off the honeydew that was kind of oozing out of the corn stalks on the popcorn. But I know wasps can be predatory, so I suspect it was them. I wish, you know, they'd do their thing now and start clearing up some of these caterpillars. Another asparagus patch and some fennel that I let go to seed to attract the pollinators and predatory insects. There's a lot of hoverflies and a lot of wasps in here. Know if you can see them all. And a purple cauliflower, which I need to pick. Now it's really interesting because there's hardly any caterpillar damage at all on this. Oh, I spoke too soon. There's a caterpillar there. I have more peppers on this side. Different varieties. These are called citrina. I'm pretty sure this is probably, they don't get much different in color than this. If anybody knows differently, please let me know. citrina. They're quite good size. And again, I've never grown such good peppers than this year. I've also got something called lunchbox, which are meant to turn different colors, and they're sweet peppers too. Lots and lots of peppers this year. I'm very, very pleased with them. And some chilies. They're either cayenne or I think they're cayenne. Further along where I had broccoli and harvested it, I planted some Florence fennel, but not this weed here. So I've got 8 or 9 Florence fennel coming along. They're supposed to like the shorter days and cooler temperatures. And I've got some spinach. Don't know how these will do. I often find that spinach bolts for me, but I always try and grow it anyway because I like it. And the last of my tomatillos, which are cropping really, really well. I'll be making some salsa verde with them. So there you have it, a very jungly but hopefully productive polytunnel. Thank you again, Mr. Cockrell, for your seal of approval. And thanks again for watching, everyone. See you next time.